Trade Genius.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Philip with Trade Genius. All right, so wanted to look at the immediate kind of short-term view on Bitcoin for the week here. And what we've got is we've completed this move out of this descending wedge. If you remember, the measured move out of that based on where the wedge started was about $9,200. So we clipped that, actually went up above it, ran into some resistance near the 200-day moving average, which is this red line, and we've since kind of consolidated. So if you look on the 4-hour chart, you'll notice that we're basically now in a pennant. And I'll call this a bull pennant because we've come up. So if you're going up and then consolidate, that's a bull pennant. So typically what will happen is you look for these to break out, and you are actually looking for a move from basically a similar move like this. So you're looking for, if we go ahead and look at that in percentage terms here, you'd be looking for something around here to about here for the next leg higher. So about $3,000 move. So that being said, if this does break down, it doesn't always go up, right? Nothing's 100%, so you have to be prepared for both sides. But if this does break down, how far down are we looking at? Well, let's look at the volume profile in this area. A lot of accumulation in here. So I think worst case scenario we're looking at would be an $8,000, which would be the floor if there was any kind of weakness that came into the market. And so that's kind of represented in this area that I've boxed. I think this is kind of like the upper and lower end of the support zone. Also coincides with the current bull fib zone. So this is probably worst case scenario, guys. If we do pull back, I think we pull back would be to here, and then another attempt on this trend line, which would have a very high probability of breaking out. And at that point, it's going to meet the 200-day moving average somewhere in here, and a very high probability of that breaking to the upside. And I think that's going to open the door for our ultimate test up here at 11,700. So if you are playing the long side, or if you're positioned right now in Bitcoin, and this is a swing trade, so this is the shorter term stuff, I'd be keeping my stops pretty tight here, okay? Bitcoin could easily thrust higher. You know it can. You could have, like, we still are subject to these very large $800 type days, so that could easily rip higher. However, you need to be on guard. We still are in the process of coming out of this bottom, so very easily, and this is where whenever we have these situations where we have potential for upside and downside, you're just kind of in limbo. So there's just this area of chop that we're in. All right, so you just have to kind of just gird your loins, and if you are swinging, you just want to keep your stops pretty tight. If you are hodling, it's fine. This is just very bullish, building a base essentially. If we did pull back to here, I will say that what I like to see are mid-channel or mid-pennant reversals. Those things are pretty powerful, because what that does is that will tell us that this upper part of this trend line is probably going to get penetrated and the move goes higher. So a little bit of limbo here, guys, and needs to kind of resolve itself. I think the 4-hour, what happens here will be somewhat telling. Again, we're just in an area, a zone of chop, so you're not getting a whole lot of momentum on any of these signals at the moment. Now, this is a 4-hour chart. Could show you on a 60-minute chart. So what this means is we're just getting ready for a bigger move. You can see the hourly chart here. And if you are interested in this indicator, we are running a special that will not only give you the chat room access, but also the Crypto Express signal. And that means is that you won't have to know or be sitting in front of these charts when these things fire. You'll get an email alert, boom, you can go to your chart and make an actionable trade. Really excited to be bringing that to you guys, and that goes live first week of May. You can see the hourly chart here. We got a signal up, then we had a signal here, which didn't go anywhere, stop, signal up again, that got you some mileage that way. Signal short came down here, and we're currently in an hourly short, but that's probably going to rotate up into an hourly buy signal soon. So, small gains here in Chopville, but I would suspect in the next 48 hours, we're going to see resolution on this up and down. Bias is going to be up again because of this move up. So that's basically where we're at, guys. you know, you can see if we do drop, there's a bit of a volume void in these areas. You can see the pockets of support. That's why I say this box, we boxed this area here because you can see a nice volume node there. So to recap, daily, basically, you know, you've got this WMA cross here. Those have been typically bullish. We've only had one failure of that to sustain a bigger move higher, and that was here. First time since 2015 that failed. So these are pretty, you know, these are pretty important to pay attention to. So this is going to be, this trend line is going to be key. The 200 day is going to be the other key level. And for the pullback, this 8,000, this 8,400 to 8,000 area is going to be key. All right, so that's what we're looking at this week. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Trade Genius.